Before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, surrounded the house, both young and old, all the people from everywhere, from every quarter. And they called out to Lot and said to him, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us that we may have relations with them. Men asking to bring the angels so that they can have relations with the angels. It reminds me of people in the world, regardless of their positions of power or the authority, whatever the principality they are, they always come together and organize. Like those that have formed all kinds of alliances in order to destroy, to molest, and attack, and do whatever to those that are wicked. For the people of the world, even when they see the Spirit, they wouldn't know. They don't have the ability to be able to know where their strength and the power is. A lot of people, they want to assume ignorance is a disease of its own. Maybe the worst kind of disease, somebody who doesn't know where his power reaches. They like to assume power they don't have. And they begin to exercise the power, and people are terrified. Here, they assume that it's only two men. And since the whole men gathered together, everybody coming out of their own quarters, surrounding the house to make sure they wouldn't escape. In the thinking of their mind, they have cornered the two men, and according to their own limited perceptions, the physical realms within physical realm perceptions is limited to what their eyes could see, their physical eyes, what their ears could hear, the five senses. So they surrounded the house. Did you see them pursuing the desires of their flesh? Yesterday, the Lord reminded of about the desires of the flesh is in conflict with that of the Spirit. Galatians 5:17. And the world is always enticing and seducing, and you, the people of unbelievers, and people often fall to that of the world demands. Galatians 4:17. They go hand in hand. 4:17 and the 5:17 the Lord gave us yesterday on the Sabbath. The world, they came around together. But they didn't know God has a plan, as you will see. They have made their own plan, thinking they will circle down the house of Lot, who is a host of the angel of the Lord. They assume they have now power and the strength to overcome. But wait and see what happens next. Further, they said in verse 7, please, my brother. No, verse 6. But Lot went out to them at the doorway and shut the door behind him, and said, Please, my brothers, do not act wickedly. Do not act wickedly. Now behold, I have two daughters who have not had relations with man. Please, let me bring them out to you, and do to them whatever you like. Only do nothing to these men, inasmuch as they have come under the shelter of my roof. Look at that sacrifice. What a real believer. He was willing to sacrifice his own daughter in order to protect the dignity of the heavenly host, the heavenly messenger of God, the Lord's army. But Lot was trying to protect the people, his people. Remember, it was his town, an allotment. If you're familiar with the story and the scriptures, when Abraham said, Let Lot choose first, so he chose very places where to his own eyes was enriched. And then Abraham looked towards the world and the earth God has made. Here, he was willing to sacrifice his offspring. He said, whatever they want to do with them. So even if they want to kill them, but they said, stand aside. Furthermore, they said, this one came in as an alien, and already he is acting like a Jew.